to work with some of the kids that have been traumatized there by the occupation. His sister Rose, who runs the program. WIAM is another Arab group. New Profile is another peace group that encourages conscientious objectors to not sign up for the military. Not everybody. If you're an Orthodox Jew, you don't have to be in the military. If you're not in the military, that is not a good thing for you if you want to move up in Israeli society. But there are increasing numbers of conscientious objectors. There's a gentleman named Bassam, whose daughter, not my best shot, who was killed in Nazareth. He began a group called Combatants for Peace. This is a group of both Israeli soldiers and Israeli jailers and Palestinian freedom fighters who meet on a regular basis. Rabbis for Human Rights at Kol Neshama Synagogue in Jerusalem. They accompany the farmers as they try to harvest their olives. There's a group of an Israeli colonel, the fellow in the red shirt, and a Palestinian freedom fighter. Both of them lost children as part of the military occupation, and they formed the Bereaved Family Circle that meets weekly with other parents. Their view is not to waste pain. Very powerful organization. I visited Birzeit University when we were there. In fact, I'm going to go back to Birzeit for a semester in January 2010 to teach my psychology classes there. As I said, I am not an Arab-Israeli scholar. I could probably translate a fifth of the Torah for you if I had to. My modern Hebrew is terrible. I'm trying to learn modern Hebrew. I'm trying to learn Arabic, but I'm not. I just come to you as a person who went there, and this is what I saw. So I don't speak to you as a person who's written a book about the Arab and Palestinian issue, although I do intend to go back there and teach not peace movements, but to teach psychology. You notice that many of the kids at Birzeit are not dressed in traditional Islamic dress. It's a pretty secular place. Sometimes Birzeit University is called Suicide U. I'm going there anyway. This is a Naomi Chazan, who's a part of the Meretz party in Israel. There is a small group in the Knesset that are more to the left. You know, maybe it's going to take something. I mean, Menachem Begin was a terrorist. I mean, he was at the Irgun. He blew up British soldiers at the King David Hotel. Anwar Sadat was, you might say, a terrorist. When he was in Egypt and with Jimmy Carter and with American presence, they were able to forge a truce with Egypt. What happens in Palestine could not happen without American help. We fund this. Israel could not do this on their own. $4-5 billion to the fourth strongest military power in the country, in the world. So part of it is the minds and the attitudes of Americans to not sit back as we see this happen, as we sat back, when the Native American populations were eliminated in this country, but to step forward. Why don't Americans know? Well, this is two Newsweek magazines, one in the Paris airport in August 2004, and the same issue in LaGuardia in August 2004. It's the same issue of Newsweek. Look at the banner headlines in yellow. If you can't see it because it's too far away, in Paris, Newsweek read, "Plight of the Palestinians." The same Newsweek. In a different country, the yellow headline reads, "Glory Days Making History in Athens." We don't know. Israelis don't know because they can't go to the West Bank. Americans can't know because we're not in contact with what's actually going on in the West Bank. I think if we knew more than we know, we certainly wouldn't be supporting the suppression of the indigenous people in their own country. Well, thank you for the opportunity to come here. I appreciate it. This is not a happy story to tell, but I think it's important for us to hear it.